Earth, the Sun, and Earth's orbit around the Sun. And we have made certain simplifying assumptions. Number one, we have assumed Earth's orbit to be perfectly circular and Earth's motion to be uniform around it. And number two, we have assumed Earth's axis to be normal, perpendicular to the plane of this orbit. Both these assumptions are of course not correct. Earth's orbit is kind of elliptical and Earth's axis is inclined at 23.5 degrees with the normal. But there will be appropriate corrections because of this, which we'll see in later videos. So right now let us get the simple thing down. Then we are going to consider two cities on Earth's equator. Say here is one city with this beautiful monument, and diametrically opposite to that, 180 degrees apart, there is another city with an equally beautiful monument. Now both these cities are proud of their monuments, and they use them for timekeeping, but they use it in two different ways. Say the city here, those folks use the sun as their timekeeper. They take the line of sight to the sun, and when it is aligned with their monument or the plumb line there, so when it is perfectly overhead, when the sun is at the highest point in the sky, they say it is 12 noon. The folks in this city, they don't use the sun. Maybe they keep up at night, or maybe they like astronomy, but they use stars for keeping time. So here is a distant star that they will be using for keeping time. But the process is more or less the same. They will be taking the line of sight to the star, which is practically at infinity. And when it aligns with their monument, the plumb line, they would say it is midnight. Okay, so in the position shown over here, this city is having 12 noon, while the other city is having the 12 midnight. So both these cities are right now 12 hours apart. Now let us see what happens as Earth rotates. So I'll just zoom into these two cities, and we'll start rotating the Earth. So it is gone 90 degrees, then 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and back to 360. Okay, so the Earth has undergone one complete rotation like this, and you would see at the end of it, both these monuments have aligned with their respective lines of sight that they use for timekeeping. This monument is aligned with the line of sight to the sun, and this monument is also aligned to the line of sight with to the distant star. So both the city folks would consider this as one day, and they would agree that the passage of time equal to 1 day has occurred. So there is no problem here, but the motion that we considered in this process is only the rotational motion of the Earth. We'll see the Earth is not going anywhere, it is just rotating in its own place, which is not correct. The Earth has this whole orbit to cover, so that orbital motion we haven't considered. So we have to now see what is the effect of orbital motion on this whole timekeeping business. So let us set it in motion. This time not only the rotational but also the orbital motion will be considered, and you will see this is going to have some effect on the lines of sight. So let us observe them. You will see the line of sight to the sun is changing its direction, but line of sight to the star is not changing its direction at all. It's keeping parallel to itself. How can that be? Well, this happens with all the distant objects. You can do this on a moonlit night. If it is safe, as you walk, just keep watching the moon overhead, and you will feel as if the moon is walking with you. This happens with faraway mountains also, while you are traveling in a train or something. Those mountains seem to keep up with the train. There is nothing surprising about it. The star is so far away that even if Earth moves from one point in its orbit to the diametrically opposite point, that displacement is hardly anything compared to the distance to the star. So we'll keep seeing the star at the same place. It's as if the Earth hasn't moved at all. So we'll get an impression as if the star is moving with the Earth. Okay, and this line of sight will remain unaltered. Now this is going to have a profound effect on the timekeeping process. The folks in this city are going to say, well, we do see the star overhead again, and therefore we reckon this to be 1 day. So these folks would say 1 day has elapsed, while the people in this city are going to say, well, the sun hasn't come overhead yet, and therefore the day is not over. There is still some time to go. In fact, they are going to wait for this much of extra rotation of the earth for the day to be over. So the duration of the day, the very definition of the time period that they call as one day, are now different. Naturally, these 2 days are given 2 different labels. The day based on stars is called sidereal day, while the day based on the sun is called the solar day. The sidereal day is about 23 hours 56 minutes, but because of this extra rotation involved in the solar day, it is about 4 minutes longer, making it 24 hours round. In solar dials, we are of course going to use solar day.